a game against the Blues on a Friday night, and a very special occasion as well, the 140th anniversary.
Yeah, 140th anniversary of our first game against Carlton. Look, it'll be a great night. All Essendon fans get along there early. There's plenty of pre-match celebration. The Premiership Cups will be a guard of honour with all the previous Premiership players. It's going to be a great night for our club, and hopefully the team can perform.
Yeah, absolutely. What did you take out of the loss of the Swans?
Look, we were disappointed in certain elements of our game. We got beaten up around the contest. They certainly used the ball better than we did, and we didn't get enough out of our forward 50 entries. So it's a few things to work on. I thought the score wasn't as bad as we played, but in the end, to be beaten by 44 points on a wet night and have 130 odd points scored against you was disappointing.
Update on Michael Hurley and Courtney Dempsey to return this week?
Yeah, Hurls will play. Courtney won't, unfortunately. Courtney's still pretty sore in his lungs and around the internal organs, so we'll take full precaution there and leave him out this week.
Just for the record, can you tell us exactly what happened with Dempsey after the game, and he had to drive back to Melbourne? And how concerned were you? I mean, it was pretty alarming, wasn't it?
Well, immediately we were very concerned. He went straight to hospital, had X-rays and a CT scan. Sort of by the time we got on the plane back to Melbourne about 10 o'clock, we were pretty confident he was stable and he'd left the hospital and was back in the hotel. So it was a precaution that he drove back to Melbourne rather than fly back. They're a bit worried about his lungs and the pressure of the plane. So he won't play this week, and we'll have a look at him next week.
Don't you use the rivalry between the two clubs to motivate them at all, or is that just for the fans?
No, I think the rivalry between Carlton and Essendon is very real. When you play against Carlton, it's a fantastic opportunity. The fans don't like each other very much when the game's on, and it's a great rivalry. It stems back, well and truly into the 80s. During the 90s, we had some great games. Obviously, 93 grand final was terrific for Essendon. 99 prelim wasn't as good. 2000 prelim was better, and it goes on and on. So, there's a lot of respect for Carlton, but also it's a great game to play in, and it's a good rivalry to be part of.
James, you spoke before about efficiency inside forward 50. What have you done this week to address that?
There hasn't been a lot to do because we've only had a 6-day break, so we haven't had a lot of time to train. But we need to have better ball movement with our forwards. We need to use the ball better in our forward line. Certainly, our ability to score is not in question. We've scored quite highly this year, but we've got a lot of entries, a lot of re-entries, and sometimes they're hard to score off. But we need to be better with our ball use inside 50, as well as capitalise on the ball we have got inside our forward half.
Just see Joe Danaher?
It's a possibility. Yeah, we've got a selection after this, so we'll have a look at Joe, and he's a chance to play, as is a number of other players.
Obviously, though, he creates a lot of excitement among Essendon fans. Can you give us any kind of percentage chance that you might pick him later today?
Well, it's a big game, and he's a young player, and there'll be a chance he'll play, but there's a chance he won't play. So we need to sit down and go through the side, and it's really only 5 days since we played, and work out who's sore, who's not sore, who's ready to play and who's not, and that'll come after training today.
Would you have any doubts about playing him on such a big stage?
Oh, no doubt at all. He's ready to play. There's, he's definitely ready. It's just whether there's a player who's ahead of him that deserves a chance more. So we'll make that decision later.
What do you make of the Blues so far this season?
They've been good. They've sort of lost their first 3 or 4, which was unfortunate for them. But the last 6 they've played very well, and I think they're 1 game behind us in terms of on the ladder, and they're adjusting the mixed style of footy, but doing it very well.
Has it been hard to temper Joe and his enthusiasm in regards to getting into the team? I mean, when you're doing so well at VFL level, you like to see opportunities come sooner, but obviously he hasn't had those chances. Have you had to counsel him on that at all?
No, I don't need to counsel him. He's a young lad that's in a hurry to get somewhere, and he will get there, but it'll just take time. And when you've got some experienced players in your side, we've got a lot of key forwards. We'll take the right amount of time with him, prepare him the right way, so that when he does come into the team, he's ready to play and perform really well.
You've lost 3 of the last 4. Are you starting to fade like last year, or is it just a few tough games?
I don't think we're fading. I think if you looked at our Richmond game, that game puts us in pretty good stead. That was 2 weeks ago we played. We've lost to Geelong and Sydney, who are very good teams. I thought for probably 3/4 of the game on the weekend we played some pretty good football. So we're not worried about fading at all. Yeah.
All the starter player interviews over now, James. Is there any more contribution to that from you guys, or any more involvement? Or
not that I know of. I sort of it's all kept a little bit away from everyone. You know, they're private interviews with the players, but I'm pretty sure everyone on our list now has been interviewed. There might be some mop-up of players who aren't playing at Essendon anymore that need to be done, but from my understanding, all the players are finished. Yeah.
How much of a weight off your shoulders into the playing group is that now the focus is 100% on football for the second half of the season?
Look, I think it's great that those interviews are done. Obviously, there's a report to come out, and what comes out of that report is anyone's. You know, we're not sure either. So that's still in the back of everyone's mind. But the fact that players can get on with football and just play is really exciting for them. And as I said last week, the press conference last week, I believe the back half of the year is going to hold some really good games for some really good performances, and we can get on with football, which is exciting.
You're no closer to knowing a time frame though in terms of when that report might be completed.
No, I wish I was, but yeah, it's up in the air, and you know, SADA will do what they need to do, and they'll take the time they need to take, which they should. We want this to be as exhaustive as possible, so that when it's finished, it's finished. It's not. There's no holes left in the investigation.
And just while we're on curly ones, there was a few rumours going around this morning that the AFL have had to sweep AFL House for bugs and listening devices. Have you ever felt the need to check out your own security at Windy Hill? Someone might be bugging match committee room or anything like that?
So what have they done, sorry?
The AFL are saying that they've possibly found some bugging devices. So whether it's individuals or it's media, they're not sure.
Right. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. We haven't felt the need to sweep Essendon, but maybe we should. Maybe we should. If you swept Essendon, the ground's been there for 80 odd years. You never know what you'd find. It could be anything there.